Welcome to Community Talk. Here today is our director from Leonardo's, our associate director, Tracy Biddle, and myself, Shelly Conradi. And we're going to talk about all the exciting things going on at Leonardo's in the next couple of months. And hopefully we'll get the whole program filled up with all kinds of cool things. Okay, Tracy, what's going to be first?
I think I'd like to start with the fact that we are getting ready for spring break. And I know that we have been in the cold for several weeks now, and spring seems a long ways away, but believe it or not, everyone needs to be making their plans for spring break. And as we are at Leonardo's, we're going to have a really fun spring break camp. I'm really looking forward to it. We're calling it Building Days Throughout History, or Art Throughout History. So that gives us the opportunity to each day of the week focus on a different type of art. So on Monday, we'll start off the week studying prehistoric art. So we'll be looking at things that might have been written on the cave walls and some things like that. So that'll be fun. Then we're going to progress forward. We're going to go to medieval times on Tuesday. So that's always fun. I always think of the medieval art fairs and things like that. And then on Wednesday, we're going to proceed to Industrial Revolution, that time period, and study art that was created at that time. And on Thursday, we'll come up to contemporary art. And I kind of call contemporary art current times, some of the things going on now. And then on Friday, we're going to look into the future. And we'll be thinking about futuristic art and maybe some of the tools that we might use and things like that.
To create the art.
Exactly.
Neat.
Exactly. So we're really looking forward to it. We have quite a history of filling up these camps, and so that's the reason we want to talk about it first thing today and be sure that everyone knows we really need to get these enrollments in. I know it's hard to plan. I know we're working and doing ball games with our children, but we also need to plan for them to have a healthy and fun spring break too, and they need to get their spot in their class. Let's see, we have a discount. If you enroll early, you do get a pretty substantial discount. So if you get involved, is it the month of February?
Right.
Right. As long as you get signed up during the month of February, there is a 20% discount. That's called early bird discount.
Right.
Then we do discounts for multiple children.
Right.
Are there any other discounts that you
Members get a discount.
That's right. That's right. If you're a member of our family at Leonardo's, having a year-long family membership, you get a good price break also. So speaking of enrollment though and price breaks, that kind of brings up, well, maybe we have plans for in the morning, or maybe the kids want to sleep in a little bit.
Right, yeah.
Is it the schedule flexible? And it is. We really strive to make it flexible. You can enroll for half days. You can enroll a child for all day, different days of the week. It makes it a little bit crazier for us, but we really feel it's necessary to do it. Bear with us if we might make a mistake and wonder where you are one day, but you can enroll in individual days. So,
and you can enroll one day at a time also if you want to.
That's true.
1 day or 2 days or the whole week.
That's true.
Flexible.
As long as there's room in the class, and it's a little more costly that way, but you bet we want to have all the kids there that we can. Just to let people know the rates for the camp, if they go all day, all week, and you're a member of Leonardo's, it's $150. If for non-members, you're still very welcome to come and enroll. Might be a good way to get a good taste of Leonardo's and what we have to offer. And that's $165 for all day, all week. Then you can go to half days. That's $90 for members, $100 for non-members. You can do morning or afternoon, which is about $45 for members and $50 for non-members. It just varies up, but we try to give all the price breaks that we can and make it accommodating. Leonardo's, when we do these camps, it's hard because the teachers want a break from school also, but we try to give we hire certified teachers, and for just a few hours during those days. If you're a teacher out there that's going to be home during spring break and might want to earn some money, please get in touch with Leonardo's. Get in touch with Julie Baird, our executive director, or myself, Tracy Biddle, associate director, so that we could maybe look at scheduling a few days with you, and you could earn some good cash for spending this spring. Because it's a great job for teachers. We realize that you need a break, but we also would like for you to participate in this really fun camps that we do.
What ages is the camp for?
Very good question. You can be 4 years of age, and it goes all the way up through sixth grade, or about 11 years of age. And we try to group the children according to age. It's that we have to be flexible, but they'll usually be grouped with children right around their age so that the activities are very age appropriate. I'm always just amazed by the creative things these teachers come up with. I was working on another project today and looked at what we made last summer, and I was just, oh my gosh, that was so fun. Oh, that was really neat too. Oh, I thought that was my favorite, but maybe it's this. So it's really neat. The parents need to have a big refrigerator to put all that artwork on.
Right.
So we always would like to share and say thank you because the program is made possible by the Oklahoma Arts Council and the National Endowment for the Arts. We do write for grants, and that helps defray the cost of spring break camp and helps keep those rates down for our parents.
Make it affordable for everybody.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And we do have scholarships available, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we do. We do fundraisers every year to try to help people that might be having a tough year and don't think that because of income you would be eliminated from being able to come. We would love to have your children. You just need to come and ask about those. And as long as those scholarship funds are available, we are happy to award them.
And it's a simple process, no
Yes.
big paperwork or anything like that. Just
Good point.
a few questions, and that's about it.
Very good point. Very good point. Okay, so as far as Leonardo Spring Break Camp, again, it's going to be Building Days, Art Throughout History. We're going to start with prehistoric art and proceed through history, even looking into the future and looking at futuristic art. So please be sure and get your children signed up. Sign up now and get the early bird discount if you sign up during the month of February. Of course, January, February, either one. Okay.
What else do we have going on that's exciting?
Well, it's pretty exciting that we are going to be open on a Monday in February because a lot of times during the school year, Leonardo's will not be open on Monday. However, if Enid Public Schools is out, we like to accommodate the students and their families and have our museum open. And on Monday, February 16th, there is a day out of school, so Leonardo's will be open. I believe that the occasion is President's Day. And to add on top of that, we are going to have a free admission day. So sometimes if the cost is prohibitive to some of our people in the community, we periodically work with the City of Enid, and they help fund that day, and anyone that comes to the museum is admitted free of charge to check it out, see all the really creative and different exhibits that we have. During the month of February, we're still going to have our Art of the Brick, which is Lego art. And if you have not seen the real-sized Lego art, you need to come in and see it.
It's really neat.
So remember, Monday, February 16th, Leonardo's will be open, and it will be free admission.
Now, will Adventure Quest be open that day?
Yes. Good. I'm so glad you mentioned that because we love to open Adventure Quest. It is a year-round park, but it's good to remind people this time of the year, if the temperature is below 40, we do not open Adventure Quest, or if it's precipitated and there could be, and the wood is slick, we do not open Adventure Quest. But as long as it's a pretty good Monday of this week, we had a great time at Adventure Quest. We had one of those nice, balmy, warm Oklahoma days, and so Adventure Quest will definitely be included in the free day as long as weather allows us to. So.
Good. We'll pray for a nice day then.
Yes.
Kids get outside and
Yes.
play at Adventure Quest.
Exactly.
All right, so we got a huge event coming up for us.
Yes.
We'll talk about that too.
Yes, every year it seems to get bigger, doesn't
Yes.
it? Okay, well, it is, I mentioned earlier that we were able to do scholarships. And one of the ways that we fund those scholarships is with our annual dinner and auction. Our annual dinner and auction, we are planning right now, and it's going to be Thursday, March 5th of this year. That is a little bit earlier than it was last year, so we're hitting the ground running this year, planning for that event. It is a nice evening on the second floor of our museum. And again, we're raising funds to fund our scholarships and allow more and more people to attend the university. Woo! We graduated. Whew, sorry, the Children's Museum. We want to earn funds for the scholarships for those. And so one of the reasons that we wanted to mention it to the community of Enid here on Community Talk is that we do an auction. The auction is a lot of fun. We auction all kinds of items. If you are fortunate enough to have a cabin somewhere and maybe could let us auction an evening there, or a night there, night stay there. I know we've already arranged for a weekend in Branson that's going to be auctioned. We have some very generous board members who are getting us some tickets to some wonderful teams across the state of Oklahoma. I'll just leave that as a little tickler. And we are going to be calling businesses. So if you can think of anything, please call the museum at 233-2787 and let us know of something that you think might be a good either silent auction item or our live auction for some of our bigger ticket items. And remember, the money that is raised from this allows people to come to Leonardo's that might not be able to afford that daily admission price or the price of camp or something like that. So Leonardo's annual auction and dinner is going to be Thursday, March 5th. And so you'll be receiving invitations, people that are on our board. But we right now are mentioning it to the community of Enid because we really need help with some of those auction items.
And the night includes dinner, right?
Yes, thank you.
And we have entertainment and just have a wonderful time with our community.
We get to give some of our awards.
Yes,
we give a few annual awards, so that's always fun. So it's just a really fun evening. I really, really enjoy it. So put that on your calendar for March 5th.
Right. So let's recap. Then we did spring break, and we did the annual dinner and the free day. Anything else that want to include?
Well, I got the opportunity to write an article on the up-and-coming exhibit that we're going to have. We are going to have a new exhibit. The Oklahoma Museum Network, of which Leonardo's is a member, has created a new exhibit that is really fun. It's all about movement of the body. It's showing gravity and centrifugal force and neat things like that. A lot of the exhibits have pendulums and things where we can study those scientific concepts. All of them are interactive. So the adults and the children are going to have to interact with the exhibit to make something happen. And if you look for our newsletter in the mail, it's the cover article, and it's called the Move It exhibit, which I need to move it. I think we all need to move it a little bit this time of year. And that will be the new exhibit at Leonardo's. It should open approximately April 7th, I believe. And
how long will it be at Leonardo's?
They are usually about 6 months, so up through the summer and up to August. And like I say, it's fun because we're getting it for this will be the first place that it's going to be featured. And so people across Oklahoma need to come to Enid, Oklahoma, go to Leonardo's Children's Museum, and play in the Move It exhibit. So
when will be their last chance to see the Legos before it changed out? Do you know?
Good point. Yes, right up to the very end of March, we will still have Art of the Brick. by the artist Nathan Sawaya. I believe I looked on the calendar, and the Sunday, it'll be the very last Sunday in March. I think it's March 30th. That will be the last time that you can play with those Legos and look at those life-size Lego pieces of art, because then we'll be moving out that exhibit and moving in, move it.
Moving in, move. That's hard to say.
It is. Hope it came out right.
Yeah. Well, we've had some really great information today, haven't we? And if you have any questions, feel free to call us at the museum.
Please,
Everybody's so
yes.
helpful to answer your questions about when things are coming and going and the prices of camp and everything. So just call us. You can get on our
Go to the
website. That
website.
information's there too. We'd be glad to help you anytime.
Like us on Facebook,
yes,
Instagram, and Twitter also.
Right.
We're getting caught up.
Look for that newsletter that we're stuffing and taping and putting labels on today.
Right now.
Getting that out, and those invitations are going out for the banquet. We'd love to have you come, and we're sure glad that you joined us today on Community Talk, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks.
Welcome back. I'm Robin Roberts. I'm the Director of Public Relations and Media at Hope Outreach Ministries, and this is Matt Lohman, who is the Executive Director at Hope Outreach Ministries. And it's been a while since we've been on Community Talk, so we just need to refocus and tell us what's happening at Hope Outreach right now.
Okay, well, as we finished up the year, we continue to provide opportunities, second chance opportunities for many employees at our thrift store. We have some who are coming out of abusive situations, getting their kids back and trying to get themselves on some solid footing. We have some coming out of incarceration and they're getting a second chance there. And then some coming out of addiction and still need that opportunity to work their way up and get going again. So that's part of the thrift store ministry that a lot of people don't know about. They just see the items and what we're selling there. But of course, the big part of the ministry as well with the thrift store is the providing the funding for the other ministries, like our parenting ministry, which just this last year we had 29 babies born into our program, which is really exciting because now those kids will have a better chance for success because their parents have been taught how to parent better and hopefully breaking that poor parenting cycle and giving some opportunity there. We have about 50 young ladies in the program and men in the program right now, but we only have about 33 mentors, so we'd always love to have more mentors. Like to get the number of people in the program and the mentors about right would be about perfect. And we always have a waiting list, it seems, because if we had more mentors, we could get more people in the program. We have the materials and the space for that. So those are some exciting things that are going on with our thrift store and our parenting ministry. We continue to serve the homeless and the near homeless population. Just last year at our community care homeless ministry, we had about 1,600 showers that were provided last year. And that's not just for people who are homeless, but that's also for people who they don't have water running in their home. We've run into some people who they have water running, but they don't have hot water running. Right. And so to be able to provide that opportunity for them is important. We also have a lot of seniors who can't get into their tub because of the step up and things like that. They'll actually come to our shelter and be able to take a shower because we have zero level entry into our showers. So that's an important thing. We've had just this last year, we're able to help about 514 individuals with their utilities, with being able to get some groceries and provide some gasoline. So we've been able to, that's quite a few people and quite a few families that we've been able to help in that, in that matter. And then we've also been able to provide, we've had about 4,222 visits.
A lot of visits.
We keep a lot of track, and of course a lot of those are duplicated. Right. It's not just 4,222 unique people, but it is, we do have some return visitors, but a lot of those are unique, just coming through town for some of them as they're traveling through, and for some it's just a soft landing
Give
so
them a
they can
place
get
to
up on their
go.
feet. Exactly. Give them a place to go, out of the weather, away from some dangers on the street, so that they can get themselves up on their feet, dusted off, showered up, cleaned up, and then on their way. We also provide laundry service. I think I forget how many loads of laundry we
Lots and
provided.
lots of
Lots of laundry that they were able to do. Back about a couple outfits or so, we allow them to come in and get those cleaned up and things like that. So that's what we've been doing while we've been away.
Yes, stay busy over the time.
Staying busy.
So what's on the
absolutely.
horizon for 2015?
Well, for
plan?
2015 in the future, we continue to consult and pray to God to see what He would have us to do so that we can better minister to people and really reach the heart and the root of what's causing the problem and the difficulties or the predicaments that some people are in. One of the areas that we're really working towards is to try to be able to open up a facility that we can really help people and counsel them with their addictions or whatever life-controlling situation they're in, and really have a discipleship program, which means that it would be open for more than just from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock. So it would be more around-the-clock situation, to stay there, a long-term commitment from clientele. That's something that we're working towards. We're also looking at and investigating the opportunity for transitional housing of some type for people who are trying to get back up on their feet. Those who are on the straight path now, but now they just need that little bit of hand up to where they can stay on that path. We've
Fall
found
back into the same.
exactly
same
they'll
place they
fall
were
right
at.
back into it if they don't have what we found is 3 things. If they get out and they don't have transportation, if they don't have some place to stay and they don't have a job, those 3 things, if you take any of those 3 things out, then they can fall right back into whatever the problem was before. So it's very important to provide that. And of course, you understand that a lot of people don't want to take a chance renting a house to a person who's just come out of a bad situation. Even though we're thinking they're ready, it's understandable. And oftentimes they don't have the funds and the things needed for first month rent, second month, first and last month deposit, and then all the utilities and everything else. So it becomes very difficult for somebody to get out and get decent housing, and then they're also trying to get to transportation and then try to keep that job.
And then have families and
And-
everything on top of that.
Exactly, yeah, then they have real life after that. So you get those things. So to be able to provide that, it truly is the idea of empowering people to responsible living. So we're helping them so that they can just get up and go, and we don't have to carry them forever, but they need that shoulder to lean on for just a little while. So that's something that we're really working towards for the future, and just seeking God's will in it and seeing how He can get that opened up for us.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, last time when we were here, I think we were talking about the girls' abstinence tea
Yeah.
that was in September that we hosted, and now we're getting ready for the boys' event,
That's right.
which is the tailgate. Can you give us a little
Yeah.
rundown of when that is and what all we need?
It's March 25th. It's coming up in March, which is just around the corner, unbelievably. And we'll need probably about 80 to 90 men to be able to serve for that, because we'll have probably about 400 or more 7th grade boys. We get all the 7th grade boys from all of the Garfield County, and then plus we do Hennessy as well. They come in, and their 7th graders come in. So we like to have the men be able to be there to greet the boys as they come off the bus. They come in, the men take a group of anywhere from 5 to 8, maybe 10, depending on how many men we get. But then we kind of just hang out in the on the NOC property down by Phillips, play a little football, throw the football around, the frisbee around a little bit, kick the soccer ball around, talk with the boys. It's a tailgate bash, so if the guys can bring a tailgate with their truck, that'd be great. But if you're a guy like me, I used to have a truck, but now I have a car, so I don't have a
Just come
tailgate.
along,
But
yes.
yeah, just come along. You can bring some chairs, some crates, some buckets, whatever you need, and the boys can sit down. And we've been really blessed before. Jumbo's has for many years provided the food for us. They may do it this year, they may not, but
That's
we really appreciate them doing that. But we always usually have hot dogs. The fire department usually grills them for us. and we have chips and drinks and some cookies, and we
Is
have
there
a
like
nice little.
speaker? Is there a speaker in this event?
There is a speaker at this event, and we're working on that. It may be
Okay.
a combination of a couple gentlemen. Last year, Brent Price did it. He'll probably be involved again this year. He may either be the speaker or part of the speaking combination. So we're looking forward to that, and maybe coming from that from a different angle. But the boys get to play and get to kind of talk with their the mentor that we have. We ask for Christian men to come out and be that
I wanted to say,
influence.
where do they call? Do they call just to the
Yeah,
parenting center
The
if they want to
parenting ministry would be
volunteer?
the place to call. They take all the registrations and talk to either Ann Price, the director, or Dina, and they will take your information. They can call 237-2292, 237-2292, or they can even stop by the center if they want to. It's 815 West Broadway. And they'll give you detailed information and, of course, mail out reminders and things like that. But we'd love for a lot of men to come out and really kind of stand in that gap for these young men to be able to have a role model and somebody who cares about them that day. And again, we want to reemphasize that we never ask the guys to talk about the abstinence. The speaker will do that. It's just basically kind of get out there, talk with the boys a little bit about everyday life and sports and stuff like that, and get a little bit of that energy out, bond with them a little bit, and then we walk them over to Briggs Auditorium. They get to sit down nice and calm, and then get to listen to the speaker present the message about abstinence. So we're really excited about that. It's a fantastic event.
And it
Last
is
year
the
was a great
seventh
turnout.
Year, I think, is what this one
Yeah,
is. It's
for the
seventh
boys, I
year
think
that
it's the
we've been
7th
hosting
year, and the
this.
girls, we got one year on them, I think, with the girls
So-
event. Yeah,
Well, great.
yeah.
Now, the thrift store, we've talked about the Parenting Resource Center,
Mhm.
and we've talked about the day shelter.
Mm-hmm.
Thrift store, we're volunteers. We always need volunteers.
Always need volunteers. Always, it'd be great to get to the point to be able to say, hey, we don't need anybody. We don't need anything. We're going to turn into Hope Outreach Taco Stand because we
Right.
don't have any. But because there are still a lot of people in need, we still want to be able to provide those services that we talked about previously. And again, the biggest generator of being able to do that is through the sale of donated goods at the thrift store. So people continue to drop their things off, and they're gently used items that they no longer need, or they feel like their family members no longer need. They drop those off to us, and we're able to sell those and be able to provide the funding that we need to be able to provide the ministries. And of course, the thing that we look for with that, we talked a little bit about it with the mentors at the parenting ministry, but we're always seeking volunteers. We have multiple opportunities for people to come in and just even be a greeter. We do give tax receipts for donations, so somebody who would want to kind of greet and take information from donors and drop off tax receipts, that's great. We have all kinds of books and things like that, and we're always collecting things. So depending on your physical abilities, we could put you to work anywhere and what you would want to do. We don't want people doing things that they don't want to do and dread
Nobody
doing.
needs to be uncomfortable to be a volunteer.
That's right. You come in and if you want to answer phones, you can answer phones. We could put somebody to work doing that, just checking receipts or just saying hi when people come in, hand them a shopping cart, whatever you'd want to do. I think we could find a place for somebody. And I say, bring a friend. It's always more fun to
It's more
volunteer
fun to have
volunteer with a friend.
somebody along with you.
Yeah.
And we constantly need donations.
Absolutely. Constantly need the donations, and we appreciate the donations so much. I've said many a times is we're here for the community, but we couldn't be here without the community support. So we really appreciate the community continue to support us and choose us because we know that there are other places that they could take their things. But we want to really just emphasize to the community and everyone who donates to us that we try to be as good a stewards as we can with those things. And I know we've heard everything from you charge too much to you charge too little to you to give it away to me, and we get everything, and you've seen it now since you've been there, everything from, I don't know, underwear to a kitchen sink. I mean, we
Yes.
get everything donated, which is awesome.
Old and new.
But old and new, but it's a difficult thing to figure out the value to something. Some things we don't even know what they are. We have to really try to figure out what they are. So to try to figure out the value is difficult. But I just want to, again, bring it up that we try to do our best to be the best stewards of that, the things that they drop off to us as possible. in order to be able to support the ministries. I know a lot of people think that, well, it's a place for people to just come and get something really cheap, which you can still get outfitted very, very affordably for under $10. You could probably get a couple decent outfits to wear. But that's not really the main purpose. The main purpose is to generate funds for the ministries that we talked about earlier and help
And to
people
help
that
those
way.
people get those people back on their feet.
Right,
The ones
to
that
help
are
people get
also
back up
employed
on their
there,
feet.
so.
And again, for those who don't know, the empowering people to responsible living is the mission statement of Hope Outreach, and that's truly what I think separates Hope Outreach from many other ministries. And again, not that theirs is any worse than ours, but that's what our mission is, and that's to give a people a hand up. And we don't want them to depend on us constantly, or to basically, it's like declawing a cat sometimes. They don't know how to hunt anymore. So we want people to be able to stand up on their own 2 feet with the help that we're giving them to be able to do that.
So, well, great.
Yeah.
Well, I think our time is almost up for
Okay.
today. It did go quick.
It goes pretty quickly.
It goes quick. But on behalf of Matt and myself at Hope Outreach Ministries, we'd like to thank the Enid Television Network for allowing us this time on the Community Talk portion. So thank you.
Hello, my name is Karen Volman, and I'm with the Blue Star Mothers today, and I have with me Brenda Bingham, our president, and we're just going to visit with you about some things we've done and what might be going on in 2015.
Okay. Well, our meetings have changed. We're doing them once a month. It's going to be the fourth Thursday of every month at 6:30, and we're going to pack our care packages the same night. It's because we're kind of slow right now, and it doesn't take us but a few minutes to pack the boxes. So we chose to go ahead and just do this for a couple months and kind of give us the ladies that have to drive in from out of town.
Yeah, I know April will be starting our Snake Huts fundraisers and stuff like that. So for a couple of months, it'll be a good thing, you know, because we have plenty of time. We usually pack our boxes first, and then we will have our meeting. But if anybody wants to join us, that's fine, to see how we pack our boxes and everything. Even though we don't have as many, you know, you're welcome to come and join us.
Right.
It's a lot of fun.
And we're continuing to do the normal business stuff that we do and taking care of veterans that need us. And we've got our Blue Star Dads associates, and we have associates that help us, Colleen and Sergeant Ted, and they're a big help to Blue Star Mothers. And my son, as a veteran, he has been coming in and doing a little bit.
That's great.
So
That's great. It kind of, we have visitors in our stores quite often too, and a lot of them will come in and say, "Well, we've gotten boxes from you,"
exactly.
and they are so appreciative of everything, you know.
And of course, that just makes our day, because for them to come in and you put a face with the names that you've been sending to, and to see how appreciative they are, it's really fun.
We've had some names several times,
Yes.
like this one lady that we've had her name. This is about the third time.
Yes, and her husband.
Right, right.
So,
So it's just ongoing sometimes, and I know we've had several of our names that the mother hasn't heard from them, and they have moved, and you know, first time mother. I mean, it's ongoing, you know,
yes.
worrying no matter how many deployments they do, but that first time is just like,
It's
you know.
really hard.
Yes, it is. It's really hard. I know my kids said, "Mother, stop watching the news." And I said, "No, I want to know what's going on," you know.
And you know, if you don't hear anything, that's really good news.
But it's hard for a mother not to hear anything.
That's right. That's
It
right.
really is.
And so when you're sitting there worried sick about your child, it really is true that if you haven't heard from anyone, everything's fine.
And if you're a Blue Star mother and you're not in our organization, and I know our numbers are listed and stuff, give us a call any time of day or night if you're having a real bad problem with your, your son or daughter deployed. This is your child, and we'd be glad to talk to you. We'd really be glad to talk to you and help you in any way. We have to stick together and lean on each other when our children are deployed because they're in harm's way.
And sometimes just to have somebody that can listen to you and understand what you're going through helps a lot.
It does. It does. I know the social media, sometimes the mothers, where they have a hard time with their deployment and they turn to different avenues to try to get through it. Right. And the best avenue is to give your friends or family a call, Don't go through the alcoholism and the different things that some mothers have went through.
That's true.
That's true. It's hard to tell somebody, don't do this.
Mm-hmm. It really is.
And going on to our fundraisers, I know probably they'll start in April.
April is the first snake hunt, and that's in Winoka. And then May will be another snake hunt in O'Keene. And after that, I'm not sure. We haven't really set up a lot of fundraisers yet, trying to wait on the weather, but we're being blessed so much right now with the weather.
Right.
It's awesome.
Right. Even though we have to sit out in the weather sometime, it's not near as bad as what our troops and stuff have
That's
to do
right.
overseas. So we can get through it.
But sometimes you have to tell
Sometimes
yourself.
you wonder, oh my gosh, I wish I had put an extra pair of socks on, or an extra jacket or coat or something when it's really cool, because you can never predict Oklahoma weather.
Exactly. Or, oh my gosh, it's so hot out here.
No.
In May, you wouldn't expect it to be so hot, but it has been
It
a
just
time or two.
depends, on the weather a lot.
And
But, we, even though we may someday have to take our Blue Star flag out of the window, we will still be a chapter. We will still go on to help veterans.
Exactly.
And it'll be the ones here in the U.S. and in places, But like I said, our troops overseas, our care packages, our first priority, and then we go and we help the community with whatever they need with the veterans and things.
And, once that star comes out of the window, doesn't mean that we don't still have troops that are serving in places that they don't have what they need.
Right.
So we will still support them.
It could be Korea, it could be Japan, South America. I mean, we've had them from everywhere.
This is true.
And you go from 151 boxes to 10 or 20 boxes. It's like, wow, but it's good. It's good because they're coming home.
It is. It's very good. So, and I'll try to get through this. I've kind of got an allergy going on. But at Christmas time, we had the store open and we wrapped gifts for people to help us. And we had a very good turnout. And
We usually do that about every year.
So,
Yeah.
well, you can talk.
Okay. Yeah, what we do is it's a gift wrap by donation is what it is. And I know that one day you and Sergeant Ted wrapped, I don't know, probably hundreds of gifts the day before Christmas Eve, wasn't it? And
Our biggest day.
and the little boy that came through, he wanted his mom's or his dad's gift wrapped, and he said he didn't have the money for the donation. And then this one guy comes by and throws a $20 bill in the donation jar, and Sergeant Ted said, "That's paid for. We wrapped it. You don't owe anything." So it's just good things like that happen.
Yes.
And when our people that have got care packages from us come through the store, and I know your son, he's a veteran, Justin. He worked at the store during the holidays, and we want to thank him for that.
Yes.
And sometimes when a veteran comes in, a veteran talking to a veteran, is kind of amazing because they kind of connect.
Yes, they do.
They connect with that and
Yeah.
everything.
It helps them a lot.
But
It was probably just as good for him as it was for the
Yeah.
ones that he was talking to.
Right.
Like Sergeant Ted and Justin seemed to talk a lot, and, sometimes they just need someone that's been there and done that.
yeah, and then we talked to a church senior group here, was it last week? And it's just amazing how the churches, the community, I mean, the veterans organizations and everything, when they find out what the Blue Star Mothers are and what we do, how they get so connected.
Exactly.
And we hear from them since we've heard from them the first time. We keep hearing from them. and
Exactly.
things. So it's just amazing that we have come this far since 2005.
I know.
You know.
And I was doing paperwork and getting our information into nationals because we have to do that every year. And when you're writing down the amount of care packages you've sent and the amount of thank yous and the amount of just getting out and talking to people, because we have to do all this stuff. We have to have all this stuff down so that they'll know what we've done. And you don't think you're doing so much, and then when you get it written down, you're like,
It's on
wow.
paper. Yeah. It's like, but yeah, that has to be done every year. And the thank yous. We have a lot of thank yous that have been sent out, and I know there's a lot of people we probably missed. But we don't intend to. We want to thank everybody that has been involved. And a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't want to thank you," or they'll hand you the money and they won't even tell you who they are.
Exactly.
But it's a wonderful thing that has come about over the years, from World War I through the wars that's
Exactly.
going on now.
And I was on Facebook earlier today, and the ladies in, where is that, up north, in that snowstorm that do that flag?
Oh, yeah, the Freedom Flag ladies. Yeah,
Yes.
I've had them on my email ever since Doug came through Bangor, Maine.
Well, it
When
was
he
on
went and when he come home from deployment, those ladies, I think there's 5 of them. They meet in Bangor, Maine Airport. They meet these companies that are the Army, Navy, Air Force, whoever it is that comes and goes through Bangor, Maine. They are amazing ladies, and they go up to the hill every Tuesday morning, and the lady named Elaine, she gives a prayer, a poem, or something, and they fly their flags up there on their hill at Freeport, Maine, is where they're from.
Yes, and on the Facebook, it was showing them all bundled up, and they was carrying their flags, and they was traipsing through that deep, deep snow. I was like, oh my gosh.
And these
now,
ladies are not real young.
young, yes.
Yeah,
So-
and they've done this for years, because I know when Doug went the first time in '04, it's whenever I got connected with him on the email and everything.
Right, that is really dedication.
And I've actually got pictures of him in that airport that they took and sent to me.
Exactly.
They are amazing. Well, we want to go into thanking everybody.
Exactly.
And I know our veterans groups and our churches and around the community here. And we want to go into thanking everybody. And we're going to be starting a new year. And we hope this goes really smooth. Do you have any thank yous that you might?
Well, there is just so many that, I don't think that we could ever tell you exactly because we'd leave someone out. But I do want to say thank you so much to our associates and what they do for us. Oh my gosh, if you could just see the room that we have and the work that goes on in there. And a lot of times it's done by our associate dads or our associates. Sergeant Ted and Clayton Crosswhite, those two are amazing as far as fixing things and putting things together.
What would we do without 'em,
Oh,
you?
I know.
And then there's the VVA with Lawrence and all of them that have come and helped us pack when we have so many boxes and everything.
So I would just say thank you to all of them, all of our veterans, all of our military people, and
Well, we want prayers to go out to everyone for our troops that are still deployed. Hopefully God's hands will bring them home safe. And we want to send everybody to pray for our America, where it can get back where it needs to be, and keep it safe and from all the evil in the world. And we want to thank Enid Television Network, because we couldn't do this without you all. And we'll see you next month. Thank you.
Well, hello. This is Community Talk, and we welcome all of our viewers to today's session, I guess I'd say. I didn't know what to say. My name is Patrick Farrell, and I'm a volunteer at the Cherokee Strip Regional Heritage Center. Again, we're fortunate to have with us Cody Jolliffe, the Education Director at the Heritage Center.
Glad to be
Cody,
here.
how good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, Patrick.
Thank you. Well, tell us a little bit about what's going on. Valentine's Day coming up. Are you having a Valentine creating epic coming up?
Well, we are. We're having a Victorian Valentine kind of workshop on the Saturday, the 7th of February. And so you can come in and just general admission, or if you're a member, you get in free. And just come in and create a Valentine to give to someone special this holiday. And it's free. You can come in and create 2 or 3, and we have all the supplies laid out. And a lot of them are scans of images of historic postcards and images from 100 years ago that you get to use and create your Valentine. So we've had a lot of people, a lot of grandparents come with the grandkids, or a lot of dads come with the kids and make mom Valentines. So
That's a special Valentine.
Yeah.
It isn't one that's just purchased. and
right.
It's one that's been created.
Yeah, I think those are fun. Those are what you cherish, Those
Exactly.
handmade things.
Exactly. And that's this Saturday?
Yep, the 7th, this Saturday. So you can get it done a week before. So if you have to mail it to someone, you still have plenty of time to
What are the
Post it.
hours that they'll be doing that?
1 to 3.
1 to 3.
Yep,
Okay.
and they'll have some refreshments and fun, and some of the ladies who are helping with the class are going to wear their Victorian clothes.
Oh,
and,
are they?
just kind of be for fun. So
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, and that's Saturday. Now then, the next thing will be the brown bag work.
that's right. Second
Yeah.
Wednesday
Second Wednesday.
at noon. So this time it's going to be Dr. Roger Hardaway, and he's from Northwestern Oklahoma State University, and he is a kind of specialist in African American studies.
Is he? Yes.
And so he has a book out, African Americans in the West, and he's going to talk about that, about his book some, and about the topic. I think it'll be really interesting.
Oh, I think so too. In fact, there have been several articles I've seen about the African American towns in Oklahoma,
Oh, sure, yeah.
like Boley and
Right?
and Langston and several others. Interesting bit of history. So that'll be quite a special thing to have.
Yeah, we have some a lot of I won't give them all away, but we have a lot of good brown bags that we have lined up for the year.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, a lot of different professors traveling in from different areas, and so I think we'll have a lot of good talks this year.
Yes, wonderful, wonderful.
The brown bag for March will be some of our trappings artists from the art show that will be coming in and talking about how they produce their art and what inspires them to do it. And that's always fun. Kind of a little different topic, not so much historical content as it is creating and art. So.
Well, and learning what people inspires them to do things
Sure.
creatively.
Uh-huh.
and that's what they'll be able to get out of that brown bag afternoon.
Yeah.
Good. Well, that's great. Oh, and you mentioned trappings.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, tell
Right.
us about what's going to happen
Well,
there.
Trappings of the Cherokee Strip is our Western art show. Many of the things in the show are trapping. So they're, fancy pair of boots, spur straps, a halter for your horse,
Oh,
a
okay.
hat band, different things, a lot of leather pieces, silver pieces. And that runs through the month of March.
The whole month, okay.
And it's a show and sell. And I think it'll actually open up about the last day of February is that Saturday there. On that weekend, it'll open up that Saturday. And on that Friday night, we will have a special party, a special exhibit opening for members. So get your membership renewed. And you get to come and meet all the artists that have created this work.
Oh, my goodness. And you have quite a number of artists coming.
Yes, we do. We have close to 20 maybe.
Oh,
I can't remember
isn't that
exactly
something?
how many,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
there's quite a few, and they're all Oklahoma artists.
Are they?
Many of them from Western Oklahoma. And we have Barbara Jakes. She's a jeweler. She's just about a master jeweler. And she creates all kinds of really unique pieces. Well, this year she is bringing a Derringer, a real Derringer, a little
Okay.
pistol, and she's got jewels on it and everything. And so
Well,
it's fancy enough for a lady to carry.
well,
you know.
well, then you can go to the formal dance and
Yeah,
carry your
it's
Derringer,
definitely
I
a
guess.
formal Derringer. So
Yes.
it's very nice.
And then there's a fellow named John Rule coming,
Yes, John Rule.
and he's sculpture and leather work.
Yes, he does bronzes and leather work. You might have seen his work, the new Department of Tourism's guide.
Oh, really?
And
Yeah.
this is a kind of a portfolio that he did in leather. And believe it or not, he's going to bring something very similar to
Is he?
this
Uh-huh.
to our show. And so it'll have a place for. He makes them where you put your pen and paper, and has a little pocket inside. A lot of people like these around the going to meetings and things like that. Or,
Yeah.
but this one definitely, ones like this stand out. All that tooled leather.
I was going to say it's intricate and detailed.
It is. And the thing about when he does leather work like this is that it's carved in relief leather. It's
it?
all carved out. It's not just punching it with a hammer and making
Yeah.
some kind of shape.
That certainly must take a lot of time.
Oh yes. I've seen several of his pieces like this. He makes saddles and all kinds of things, and a lot of unique things like that.
Yeah.
So,
And H. Holden will have something there?
I believe so. Yeah.
I believe so. I have the, and decorative gourds, paintings, drawings, custom cowboy boots,
Yes. Uh-huh.
rawhide braiding. I don't
Oh, the guy who does the braiding is amazing.
Is that right?
It's very, very intricate work
Mm-hmm.
out of rawhide, and he makes horse hobbles and just all kinds of things. Last year, he teamed up with one of the other artists in the show,
Uh-huh.
and they made this beautiful leather tray with braided rawhide on it, and
Did they really?
all kinds of things. So it's a great show.
That's unique.
It
I
is.
mean, the whole show sounds like it's really very unique.
And they're all for sale, so
Well, then,
you can find a piece and take it home with you.
well, that's exactly right. And we had the Chautauqua, Winter Chautauqua,
Yeah.
with Washington Irving, which was a great presentation, a good crowd,
Oh yes.
a good crowd. And they have now the Junior Chautauqua.
Oh yeah. Those
Some-
guys did great.
They did, that's right. And it was a young lady from OBA
Uh huh.
whose character was Dorothea Lange.
Yes.
Dorothea Lange was the lady that
Famous-
took so many
Right.
pictures
yeah.
of the Dust Bowl.
Dust Bowl.
And it dovetails right in with the Summer Chautauqua.
It does really
which
well.
is about the Dust Bowl.
Yeah, we hope to have her maybe perform again in the summer.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
For that crowd.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, the Summer Chautauqua will be the second week in June at the Heritage Center, Tuesday through Saturday, that second week of June. And it should be a great lineup of scholars, really good scholars presenting great characters.
Interesting characters.
Oh, very interesting.
Ernie Pyle, and John Steinbeck.
John Steinbeck, Woody Guthrie.
Woody Guthrie, yes.
And then there's a couple of others that are not as much known on a national scale, but one of them is one of the real life characters from the book Worst Hard Times.
Oh,
And
really?
One of the ladies from who lived in Oklahoma, so have some real close connections, and that's always fun, you know.
It is. And it's an opportunity for learning about our state, and of course that happened in Colorado, Texas, and
Sure.
Oklahoma, and Kansas, but it was a time of very great hardship.
Oh yes,
Great hardship. And to learn about what occurred to bring it on is especially interesting.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. So, and the trap shoot, that's...
Yeah, we want to talk just a little bit about that. That's our April Fool's Trap Shoot. We know we opened on April Fool's Year, Fool's Day. We don't want a whole year of it, but it was
Groundhog Day.
This will be our. We have been open 4 years now. So
Have you?
believe it or not, seems like just yesterday. But this is kind of commemorate our opening. But all of the proceeds raised go to the education programs, and so we're able to do programming for thousands of kids in the region, and a lot of specifically Enid students. So we really hope that people will come out and support it. We can take up to about 15 teams. It's a trap shoot out at the Grand National Range.
Yes.
And they do so many rounds of traditional trap, and then they do so many rounds of 5-stand. And 5-stand, you might have a rabbit roll across or a bird come up at you this way or that way. So that's really challenging.
Reflexes
yes.
come into
Oh
the
my
picture.
gosh, so very challenging.
Yeah.
I always enjoy shooting in that competition. And then myself and probably a couple others will be out in turn of the century sporting clothing and equipment and
Oh, will you?
firearms. And so last year I set up my camp and tent and had a couple of historic shotguns, and it's just a lot of fun. There's teams of 5-man squad, and it's $1,000 entry, and it's on a Friday evening. So get the company together and come out and shoot.
Come out and have a special event.
And if they're interested in it, we also have individual shooters for much smaller fees.
Yeah. Well, that's super. Just a quick mention about Turkey Creek, speaking of the education.
Oh, sure. It's booking up quick. Turkey Creek School is booking fast. So.
Well, that's something. Cody, again, thanks so much for being here. To our viewers, thank you so much for watching. This is Community Talk.
Thank you.